Okay, so now I've done the little explanation video, I'm moving on to, I've moved over to my Warburton 7S mouthpiece with 5 backbore, just to give you some of the stuff that people like to see. So, yeah, carrying on, some of the exercises that come next in the Trumpet Yoga book are kind of similar to the early Clark stuff, except he actually goes into the high register. So, so this whole time, the instructions are actually telling you to start slowly. We should be focusing on building air power. So, in more modern days, we tend to use words like compression. I don't even think that that's necessarily the most helpful term to use. Maybe we should be talking about using the lips to resist the airstream, and then as you blow harder, you increase the resistance, and this gives you compression as a byproduct. At the end of the day, it's the compression of air that is what sound is. So that's what we're moving with. But this whole time, I'm trying to maintain a consistent lip setting of bottom lip slightly tucked under the top lip unfurled. And if you're interested in the tongue, then that is also anchored to the bottom lip for me. That's not necessarily a part of Trumpet Yoga so much as TCE, which came later. So. Something I've talked about quite a bit lately with my pupils is that it's very easy to overdo movement of the lips. I've got a bit of a habit of actually closing things down too much too soon. So if you look, if I was to play, say, a chromatic scale from C, you can see that everything really shut down quite quickly. Let me get closer and show you it in action. So it's actually, I can still play that note without that lip-to-lip compression at all. And so I want to try and eliminate that so that I can use it later. Okay, where are we going to start? A. Okay, E flat. Not too bad. That's a decent A with no kind of manipulation of the chops. You can see I go quite red, but that's what happens. Right. Now in the Trumpet Yoga book, it's quite strict, and I agree with this sentiment, that you shouldn't really, you shouldn't be trying to practice notes that you can't play with a good sound. I would say that this A is comfortable, or at least it's slotting nicely. It does if I practice high notes consistently. That isn't to say that I can't play higher notes. So. Now there's a double C. It's a little bit off centre, a little weak. That one's a little better. But to keep forcing exercises up into an uncomfortable pitch is not going to be helpful. So I'm going to take this a semitone higher, get up to the B flat, and if it's not good, that's where I finish. So. Okay, it is a little weaker, but I think I'm going to keep going. So I'll go for B natural. Okay, that seems to have opened up actually. Okay, so starting with an F sharp. See, I'm not keeping the control at this point. Let's see if I can do a different thing. I'll keep my top target the same, so say the B flat. Let's do like a Clark number 2. No, see, I'm going to stop there. I don't want to waste time forcing this. So. Yeah, considering at this point I'm practicing in a register that basically serves no musical purpose. You'll razz out one of these a night. That's where I'll stop. But if you're interested in learning more about this subject, please do take a look at my website, trumpetpla.net, Trumpet Planet. If you go to the store, then I've got an ebook for sale called Exploring the Double Pedal Register, and that explains these concepts in much more detail. A bit of history, some photos, the mechanics of how it works, and then a whole series of exercises split into 3 parts: finding the notes, Ansätzen, Einsätzen, and Einsätzen, Ansätzen. Go take a look, buy it if you want it. Okay, email me if you have any questions, and I'll get back to you all soon.